What's going on, everyone? What a wild game. That Miami Sixers game was really good. I mean, it looked like Miami was just going to completely run away with this game, do what Miami does. Jimmy Butler getting hurt, right? That's going to be something that it's going to be interesting going forward because now they got to play another playoff game. But man, there were stretches in that game where it looked like Miami was just going to, Joel Embiid, here we go. Here goes Joel not showing up in a big moment. I know he's injured, but like, come on, dude, this team needs you. But other guys picked it up. This was the Nicholas Batum. I mean, he was spectacular in this game. I mean, he had all the big shots, made big play after big play after big play. You know, he had that blunder at the end of the game where he, grabbed Tyler Hero. But I mean, that dude was just spectacular in this game. It was a real reason the Sixers were able to pull this game off. But man, it was just like it was looking rough for quite some time. And then you saw Joel Embiid start picking up, playing big moments, big minutes, sharing the basketball, hit that big three, clutch and one, and it was like, there you go. There's the guy. There's the star. But you see this, right? Like, it can't just, if you're just relying solely on Joel Embiid to win you games, then, how far are you going to go? If you're expecting Joel Embiid to basically give you 80 a game, obviously he's your superstar, he's your best player, he's the guy that you need to play big and be big in order for you to win. But if you're counting on him to give you 80, like, you're not going to win very many. You need the other guys to pick it up, right? The other unsung heroes, the Nicholas Batums, the Tyrese Maxeys, right? The Kelly Oubres, even Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry had some great plays, and just the veteran in him. This was a good comeback win by Philly. This was a legit playoff game. The atmosphere, the environment, the back and forth, right? Who's going to win? The game's tight. Hit clutch free throws down the stretch. Multiple guys. It wasn't just one guy, right? You saw Kelly Oubre hitting those. The Sixers, again, I personally don't think that they're going very far. Like, I think that the Knicks matchup, because now they play the New York Knicks, right? The Knicks matchup is kind of one of those matchups where it's like, if they had Julius Randle, depending on which Julius Randle shows up, I actually think the Knicks would beat the Sixers. But now without Julius Randle, I think it gets interesting. I think it's a good series. If Philly loses, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know how much faith I have in the Sixers to make it out of the Eastern Conference. Right now, they're going to have to be on the road the entire time, right? Joel Embiid, he's the big question mark, right? It's like, because he does have a history of just vanishing at times and vanishing at moments and having poor games in games where you need him to show up. How he doesn't look himself. He doesn't look fully healthy and limber and, like the dominant, aggressive Joel Embiid that he can be. He's just kind of floating around out on the perimeter the whole game, like. It's just, I know that's something that he likes to do, period, but it's like, the only way I see them advancing super far is if Joel Embiid can be basically Superman. You put him on the block, he just dominates. He just dominates every matchup. So I don't know how sold I am. I really wanted badly, my hope in the Eastern Conference was that the Bucks would have gotten the 2 seed, because I think Philly and the Bucks would be a lot of fun and a lot of interesting. And I think that would have been a hard-fought series. And can the Sixers upset that? And plus, just Giannis and Embiid, I think, would have been a great first-round matchup. And then Miami, I really wanted to see Miami play Boston, which now they might. I wanted Miami to make it to the playoffs because I think Boston just runs through Chicago, runs through Atlanta. Like, I don't even think that that'll be a fun series. But Miami, I was hoping Philly would win this game. Miami wins the second play-in game, and then they go play Boston. What does that look like? Now, the Celtics should run through Miami. I mean, they should. There's so much talent. They're so ridiculous. But Miami's just time and time again shown that they have their number, that they match up well, that they love to play Boston, right? So even if Boston wins that series, like, I just want to see them tested. I want to see, what does Boston look like tested, right? What do they look like out of the gate? Because, again, they should just run through the Eastern Conference. I don't think there's anybody in the East that is that good to where they should be able to match up well enough against Boston, again, on paper. But then you add in the factors like Jason Tatum can disappear at some times. Like, what does he look like in big games and crucial games? Can they stay healthy? Can they, not beat themselves? Boston loves to just, shoot themselves out of games at times, right? Like, are they mentally tough? Joe Mazzulla, what does he look like as a head coach if he's getting heavily outcoached, right? Like, I want the matchup, right? I really want Miami to win that second play-in game, go play Boston, and then just put the pressure on Boston and see, what do they look like? Do they fold? They lose in the first round, right? Which would be surprising, but I don't think it would shock anybody. Right? Like, if Miami beats Boston, they do it every year. It's like, so I don't think it would be like that. Like, I can't believe that just happened, but I do think it would be, given how historically great Boston's been this year, I think that would be interesting. But man, just in general, I am so pumped for these playoffs. These playoffs are going to be so much fun in both the East and especially the West. The West is just a gauntlet, man. I mean, you can make an argument for basically every team that's going to make the playoffs. You're going to have the Pelicans and the Kings battling it out to play Oklahoma City in the first round, and the Kings get back Malik Monk, they can make some noise. If the Pelicans get back Zion, they can make. Zion in that Laker game he looked like the superstar and that guy that you wanted him to be. So I just think, as just like a pure basketball fan, right? Obviously, many of you are familiar with me, and as it stands, Lakers and my Laker channel and stuff like that. So obviously, I want the Lakers. They're playing Denver. I want them to win, but even just beyond just being a Laker fan and just a basketball fan, I'm more pumped for these playoffs than I think I've been in a very long time for the playoffs. Because I just think every matchup should be good. Now, obviously, you're going to see, when you get to the playoffs, there's always those teams that on paper look good, or those teams that you think oh man, they were really good this season, they should translate well into the playoffs, and then they just lay a dud, and they lose in 5 or something like that. It's just man, this team isn't very good. Obviously, matchups are very important, things like that, but I don't know. I look at across the board, and assuming Miami goes and plays Boston, I think every matchup's just going to be tough. Even the Bucks are going to be without Giannis for who knows how long, right? I just look at these games and I'm like, man, these are going to be, I think every series will be at least 6+. I think there's going to be a ton of 7-game series. Right? There'll obviously be, a series or two that's just oh man, this team just got ran through, right? There's always those matchups, right? Maybe the middle of the pack ones. One of the things I'm looking at is the Suns and the Wolves. What does that look like? Are the Suns just do they have too much firepower and just kind of run through Minnesota, or does Minnesota, their size and stuff really cause problems and they just kind of run through? That's a matchup. The Cavs. It's just a couple matchups that I look at and go, I wonder how many games that goes. But for the most part, I just think front to back, it's going to be very interesting. I know a lot of people, speaking of the Lakers, I know a lot of people think that series is going to be thin and be over in 4 or 5. I actually think that series goes at least 6 or 7. I do. I think that goes 6 or 7, but we'll see how that goes. Because that's another one. Look, Denver ran through the Lakers last year, so can they do it again this year? We're gonna find out. But I'm just excited for this. And these play-in games have been great. Lakers Pelicans one was great. This one will be great. Then you have the Kings and the Warriors one was good, although Sacramento kind of just ran through the Warriors the whole thing. But that's part of the one and done, right, environment, atmosphere. And we'll see how this Hawks Bulls one goes. Somebody's going home, and both of these teams have a lot of question marks in the offseason, right? With Atlanta, do they trade Trey? Do they trade DeJounte? Chicago, do they blow it up? They're obviously going to look to trade Levine, but does Lamar stick around? What do they do with Vu? Right? There's a lot of questions in both regards. So it's gonna be fun. But what a game! What a game by Philly. Congrats to Philly advancing. Now they get to play the Knicks and Miami. I really want Miami to play Boston, badly. I really want Miami to play Boston. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What did you think? How'd you feel? What are your thoughts on the games? Did you like them? Did you not? Were you kind of whatever? Love to hear it. How do you feel? Down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.